What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting, where we have for the good reels. You don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Bretman's over here, and we're in the midst of a Scream review series, and we're going to be on doing Scream 4 today, right before Scream 5. Scream 5's around the corner, my friend. It's about to come out.
Yeah, it's this week, baby, because it'll be out on Thursday, and I'm going to that 7 o'clock showing.
Hell yeah, of course. After we see Scream, we're going to be doing a review for that, and then we're going to be ranking the franchise afterwards, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Looking forward to getting this thing, getting to this weekend so we can check it out and just see what they're going to bring us. But at this point, we're going to talk some Scream 4, baby!
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've not seen any of our Scream reviews, or if you missed out on the Scream 5 prediction video of like the live stream that we did with Destiny last week, the link in the playlist will be right above my head right there. And also be sure to, if you want to support us too, to like this video, share, and subscribe. And of course, ring that bell, ding, 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 so you all know when the next set of videos are up and ready. So I say, Brad, let's knock out Scream 4.
Let's knock it out, my friend. Let's talk about some of the good stuff. And first things first, I thought it was a good return. It was a decent return to the world of Scream. I thought, as far as the way they kind of got the characters, they brought all the characters back and stuff. It made sense. And I for the most part, I thought they did a pretty good job with that. And they did so by making a pretty good commentary for remakes and really just remakes, because that was kind of it came out during the craze of remakes, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and all those things were getting remade around that time. And so obviously I think this does a pretty good job of, the first one was, horror movies, and then we did the sequel idea, and then the third one was a trilogy kind of meta deal. And this one, doubles down on that with remakes. So I liked it.
Yeah, dude, I actually absolutely love that concept too. And I'm just glad we're back in Woodsboro too, just because we weren't in Woodsboro for very long. We were only there for the first movie, but I feel like for this next time around, we got more in depth of what's been happening in Woodsboro, like the effect of what happened in '96 with that movie. So it's just a fun time seeing all that too. And plus, I got to see one of my favorite side characters in this movie, and that is our very own good buddy Chris Snyder. If you pay attention to a particular scene, which I'm going to try to find the picture right now, you can see him. He is one of the high schoolers in the letter jacket right there, right when Neve Campbell first appears on screen.
Oh boy, I need to see what's going on here with this, but yeah, man, that's awesome. I think that's interesting, man.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, let's go ahead, bring back the traditional three of Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox back again, and they all do a spectacular job with their roles in this movie. And especially with Neve Campbell of Sidney Prescott, because we just get a whole nother like character dynamic to her, because she's now an author now, and she wrote a book about her trauma and all that. And she just is trying to pass on that experience to her cousin Jill, or like to her family member Jill, and just so that she could let Jill know, like, hey, this is what I had, or what's happened to me, and I know I'm in your like the shoes, and it's just crazy, man. Like Neve Campbell did a really good job.
Yeah, she did. She did. I think she was probably the strongest of the returning characters. I thought, we'll get more into that later, but yeah, kind of going back to being more, kind of digging into this meta stuff some more. I thought they did really good. The opening of the movie was really good and entertaining. I thought, with the multiple fake out kills, I thought that was kind of cool, and a lot of well-known actors and actresses in there during that part was fun.
Yeah,
kind of going back to the the roots of the first movie and stuff like that. And I enjoyed that. But the biggest thing for me, man, the kills were great in this. This was a big step up in kills from the rest of the franchise. You got the Bedroom of Doom up there with Olivia, or whatever her name was, just getting freaking slayed.
Yeah.
And it was pretty suspenseful, like leading up to that too, with the whole, I'm in your closet kind of deal on the phone, and people looking at you through, like they're seeing this happen in the window across the street and all that. I thought was cool. And we had the Perkins kill and the cop car. That was pretty good. I thought that was nice. And the Garage Crush, dude, calling back to the first movie.
Oh yeah. And the kills were absolutely great. But and before I get to my main positive, guys, we apologize. There's one particular person we just need to give a big shout out to, and a big positive throughout the entire the entire Scream franchise here, and that is one Mr. Roger L. Jackson, the voice of Mr. Ghostface. How can we possibly forget about him? And we do apologize because he is an iconic character, or like his voice is so iconic within the horror genre. When that phone rings and you hear that voice, you immediately go, that's Ghostface and Roger L. Jackson. He does a phenomenal job without this entire franchise.
Hello, Birdman. That's what he says on the phone, I think, usually. I mean, it's something like that. That was pretty close. But yeah, you're right, man. That's a iconic voice. Better late than never, really, as far as giving that shout out there. I think that's pretty good. But yeah, man, I think yeah, that's it. That's my, it's kind of wrapped up into everything for me on my end.
Alrighty, let me go ahead and go with my biggest positive in this movie. And this is for you, Chad Sumner, if you are listening, because screw you. It's Kirby, man. Kirby's my big positive in this movie. I absolutely loved the Kirby character. And dang gum, like, how could you not? Because she's pretty much the female version of Randy. But I feel like just a little bit, she was way cooler than Randy, just in my opinion. And I just wanted more and more. So if I could change like a little bit of this movie, it's just definitely more Kirby. And I kind of wish that she was like the big like passing of the torch kind of way, which they were trying to set that up with Emma Roberts' character of Jill, but that didn't work out that way.
Absolutely not, dude. Yeah, she was actually. I meant to mention her too. She was done. She was very good in the movie here. Very entertaining character. Obviously, very clearly the best of the new characters that they put in here.
Mhm.
And I'll talk about the rest of them here in a minute. But yeah, she was solid. Very
Yeah,
entertaining,
yeah,
and she nailed that
definitely.
game at the end too, dude.
Oh, dude, that scene was just the scene immediately that made me fall in love with her. And it's just
Yeah,
poor timing too because she got stabbed afterwards. So
yeah, she did. Briefly.
I think. And by the way, she's still alive.
Yeah, she might be. We'll see. We'll see
We
on
shall
Friday,
see.
Thursday, whenever.
Oh, yeah, whatever day. Just this week, guys. So I think that's it for our pauses. Brad, do you have any mixes?
No, not for me, man.
Yeah, me neither. My dislikes are pretty straightforward.
Yeah, mine too, dude. My first one, dude. You want to know about it?
Oh, I bet it's about the lighting, isn't it?
Well, I actually didn't think about that, but I could throw it on there. Do you
Yeah,
want to talk about the lighting?
yeah, let's
Tell me
talk
about
about
the
the
lighting.
lighting. Like, it's just too dark. It's weird. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if that's like what had an effect to my other negative. It's just kind of a nice transition too. It's the blood is in a weird way too. It's like very dark versus just like the media color of red or like even a little bit of a brighter red. Which if you go a little bit brighter red, that's pretty much too unrealistic. But I just for some reason I'm not sure if it's the lighting, but which just the lighting is just really bad. It's just in my opinion throughout this entire film. But the blood though, it's just to me, it's just not very good in my opinion.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought, well, the one scene that I really remember that stands out is obviously Olivia's kill in the bedroom.
Mhm.
I thought that looked pretty good. I thought those effects were really solid. The intestines down there and everything like that. I that was pretty gnarly and pretty brutal. I don't remember the color shading or the lighting. That's completely unrelated to what you're talking about. I just kind of spitballing there. But yeah, I didn't notice that really. But that's I yeah, that's cool. Um, I haven't really paid as much attention to the lighting, I guess, in this thing. But for me, man, Judy Hicks, man. I mean, what the heck's going on with this character? I mean, really any of the new characters except for Kirby, but she was one. She was creepy, man. When she comes out of the bathroom or the closet or whatever it was in the house, when the lights are out, and she's like, "Hey, Sydney, I've been watching you since college," or whatever she says, and yeah, it was just weird. And then she's feeding lemon squares to Dewey, dude. She's like, "Hey, it's not cheating if you eat my lemon squares," or so. What is he? What she says something like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
"What
but
is this even?"
hey, it'd be cheating my diet though.
Yeah,
Oh
she was weird,
god.
man, and she's coming back.
Yeah, and her son, and just the reason she's coming back is because her son is in this movie too. Not like the actress's son, but the character's son in it. But yeah,
Oh,
Judy
cool.
was okay, and I did like Jill for the most part. But there's just times where she's just a brick. Like,
Yeah.
just doesn't really. It's not. It's just not until the end as that when she finally stands out as an actual character. But my main negative about this movie, it's just to me, it's just too comedic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
Same.
it's just like, and I know with Scream, you gotta have some comedy in there, but this one was just way, way too much, especially with Anthony Perkins with the knife in the head going, fuck Bruce Willis. Yeah, like that is one of the most cringy lines in horror history for me.
Well, he did just have a knife rammed through his brain, so he wasn't really thinking clearly. But
He should just died right then and there.
it takes a minute sometimes. But either way, I get what you're saying. I agree. I did think I actually liked that kill. I thought that was good, but the comedy does go way too far at times for me, and it just it's really just with all these characters you really don't care about. Like they're not really that memorable. Aside from the ones I thought Jill, like I usually like Emma Roberts, but I thought this was one of her weaker roles here in this movie, as opposed to some of the other stuff she's done with American Horror Story and a couple other things here and there. Uh, but the rest of them, like Rebecca, like the dude, the one in the parking lot, like she was a pointless character, like didn't even need to be there, just a waste of time, really. The kill
Right.
wasn't even that great, it was a waste of a kill. And like if you're gonna have him there to get killed in a cool way, then cool. But this wasn't. And like, a couple of the other one, like I really didn't like what they did with Gail in this either. I thought she was kind of I don't know. I feel like she didn't really have a lot to do in the movie, but either way, that's it
Yeah,
is
it's
what
like
it
they were
is.
trying to make her like the Gail Weathers of old from the original, but it's just to me, it just didn't feel that way.
It
Which
didn't.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that's just the direction of the story or just the way that Wes Craven had her act in this movie. I don't know really, but I feel like Gail and Dewey were weak in this as well. Like they could have been done a lot better.
I think so too. They didn't really have that same obviously, their the personal lives make things a little bit more awkward these days, but they didn't have the same chemistry they had back, obviously when they were married. So,
Mhm.
of course they wouldn't, but I still, they were much better together in the old movies, I thought. And but they're still stood. I mean, they're good here. They're solid. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, outside of that, man, I mean, I just think the third act is a little weaker here than some of the other entries. I thought I didn't really like the motivations for either of the killers. I thought that the what's Charlie or whatever his name is. I thought
Yeah,
his was weird.
Charlie. Yeah, he pretty much just was Jill's bitch boy.
Yeah, yeah, and
He
yeah,
did. He
that's
pretty
what
much did most to all of the killings in this movie.
he did. Yeah, he did. He took he took that aspect of the job, and I think decent. I guess I didn't really see him coming. I guess, but I also just thought it was just kind of why at this point it's just,
Mhm.
but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, and fuck Trevor. And then that's it for my negatives. So,
Trevor's an asshole. Yeah. Yeah, me too, man.
all right, man. So let's go ahead and rate this bad boy. What would you rate it?
I think this is a good return to the franchise. Definitely better than the third one. I would give it a 3.5. 3.5.
Oh, okay. And you know what? Let me go ahead and just join you along that 3.5 train. Or let's just do it better. Let's just do 3.75 because I love Kirby that much. Fuck you, Chad. So, yeah, and this movie is just did a really good job, just like making fun, kind of like of the remake train, and just being its own movie in a way, just with that scream, just love to it, and it does a good job. But just to me, on a lot of areas, just a really missed opportunity. So 3.75. So with my 3.75 to your 3.5, that's just going to be a trip to the Tosche station to get some good old power converters.
It's a good place to be, though.
But I was going into Tosche Station to pick up some power converters.
So, guys, that is Scream 4. So, we got one more Scream movie left. And after we do a review on that, we will do a ranking. And that will be it for the Scream review series until they announce, like, maybe Scream 6 or 7. We don't know. But when that happens, we'll cover that too. So, we're
It'll be
going
in
to go ahead.
2031. I'm calling it. No,
Oh
20.
my
Well,
gosh.
2029. 2029. We'll keep
20
it in.
Dude, no way. I feel like if this really does well, we're gonna get a lot sooner or later. But so I say let's just hold on tight. Let's see what happens, and let's get these people on out here. So, guys, what did you all think about Scream 4? Did you really like this entry into the Scream franchise, or do you think this is the worst movie of the Scream franchise? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
If you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Those links are going to be in the description for you to find down below.
Absolutely. And again, with Spotify and Apple Podcasts, look into that, just because if you fail to see our Scream 5 prediction video we did with Destiny with the live stream, that episode will be available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And how can you support us? Once again, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe, and of course ring that bell, ding ding ding, so you all know when that next video is up and ready.
Woo!
Oh yeah. So again, quit answering those phone calls.